group, so can I call Assembly Member Twycross to propose the amendment?
Yes, thank you. This is a really serious issue, so I think it's quite regrettable that James Cleverly, as chair of the Fire Authority, is... Oh, here he is. He's coming back now. Well, that's welcome that he's returning for this. I feel quite strongly that the Mayor's proposals for the Fire Authority demonstrate...
Roger's back.
Welcome back. Demonstrate that he's a very poor winner. And not content with being able to establish through use of his mayoral direction that he has a right to force the Fire Authority to do what he wants, he now wants to be able to do it without debate, without challenge and without due democratic scrutiny. And I was trying to think of who he reminded me of when he took this approach. And he's actually showing himself to be quite Putinesque in his approach. He's using dubious political packing of the authority to replace due process. He's proved himself to be a bully over the fire cuts, a bully who failed to listen to Londoners and failed to listen to the Assembly and the Fire Authority, and who wants now to even avoid having to even pretend to listen in the future by putting an interim model in place that would allow any future cuts to be simply waved through, and the disposals of fire stations and cuts to the fire service being made at his whim. And I think that Boris Johnson appears to be a man who doesn't like it when people answer back. And it's clear that this suggestion is only being made in reaction to the dispute over the fire cuts. The current Fire Authority reflects the political balance of London, and in this respect it is part of the proper system of checks and balances to mayoral power. The suggestion by the Mayor is anti-democratic, and the interim proposals, before there's a proper review, cross-party review of the arrangements, is a fudge and would create a sham puppet body that would serve no real purpose other than rubber-stamping future mayoral whims. And rather than looking at improving the leadership on the authority or accepting that there may be circumstances in which the Fire Authority may disagree with good reason with the Mayor is advocating the drastic measure of changing the governance of the Fire Authority to manufacture an inbuilt majority for himself and for the Tories. My colleague Val, as chair of the Fire Authority, managed a situation in which she had to build a consensus on the authority on which there was also no overall control. It isn't the political balance on the authority that is an issue, it's the approach and policies that are being taken. And the letter from Sir Edward Lister cites political mandate as a reason for the decision. However, as we've previously pointed out on a number of occasions, the Mayor did not mention cutting fire stations in the manifesto, and I am entirely clear that had he done so, he would not be Mayor today. And although the Mayor won, the Conservatives are in a minority on the Fire Authority overall and in London. We have a Conservative Mayor, but we do not have, by any stretch of the imagination, a Conservative city. Boris Johnson knows this, Sir Edward Lister knows this, and everybody in this room knows that as well. So to cite political mandate in these circumstances is frankly ridiculous. I can't deny that the use of the mayoral direction highlighted an issue with the current system, but blatantly packing the authority with mayoral appointees before a solution can be identified is not appropriate. We call upon the Mayor to see sense, recognise that he simply can't ride roughshod over due process and review things properly rather than make this knee-jerk reaction to opposition. The Mayor is clearly unable to deal with political scrutiny, and rather than seek to build consensus going forward in the medium term on fire and governance of this GLA function, he is attempting to create a puppet body that will just wave things through on his whim. And I'd urge him to reconsider his ill-thought-through and anti-democratic plans and put them on hold until a proper review with a permanent solution can take place. Thank you.
Thank you very much.